What's up, guys? Welcome to the first Unswamped solo episode. I've never done one of these before, and I tried recording this for 2 minutes just before this, and I was cringing too hard at myself. So I decided to restart, and this time I'm not stopping, even if I pause or even I don't think I'm gonna edit it, honestly, or the pause. I was just gonna go through it, and I have a topic that I really want to talk about. It's not really a topic. It's kind of like a bunch of things that are on my mind that I'd like to share. Almost like a journal entry. Um, but before that, shout out to Chris Williamson. Shout out to Theo Vaughn. Shout out to Joe Rogan, Dax Shepard, um, Mark Manson. I love these podcasters, and I guess I'm combining what I like about all of them into how I do this, and how I tell my story or whatever, you know. Uh, I guess like it's also because I just graduated yesterday. Yesterday was commencement. Yeah, and I also want to thank a lot of the people. I feel like there's this gratitude for people in our grade, in our school that I have, and I just never expressed it to them. And if you're watching this, because like you're probably watching, and you're probably from Francis Parker School, and you're probably in 12th grade, and you just graduated, uh, this is for you. But also, I'm saying it in the context of to everyone on the internet, I suppose. So today's podcast title I thought about yesterday is going to be called Why You Should Talk to Girls. And the reason why I said this podcast episode is going to be called that is because after trying that this year, I've learned that that's just like you got to get out there. You got to do your shit, man. Uh and you got to just go out there and be you and copy other people and try new things and figure out who you are. And if other people don't like you, then they don't like you. And wish them the best. And other people do like you, then they do like you. But I guess I'll try to make that more clear. I don't know. I'm just yapping now. So, shout out to Maggie and also Lauren, because I learned a lot from that episode, which was kind of about like finding yourself, being authentic, and uh, especially Maggie, outwardly, she's very authentic, and I love you for that. I love anyone who's authentic for that. But I was inspired by her when she said, like, in order to find your own style, you gotta copy other people, and you gotta, you know, like all those combinations of different artists that you like listening to that you learn from other people, and like clothes that you like wearing. And I think this also applies to social interaction. Like you hear someone say, like if you hear someone send like an emoji, uh, like they send the emoji of like the crying face. Like when I saw that in middle school, like I picked it up and I thought I was being a copycat, but I guess I'm not, because you eventually realize like I like this emoji. I'm gonna keep on using it. And or in the context of like someone says some slang word, like I was playing beer pong yesterday, uh, with my boy Kellen, and I wasn't drinking beer, by the way. I was just playing with him, and he said "bam" when he made the shot, and that's what other people say. That's what Anish says always, and I don't know. He probably learned it from someone, but I don't think it's inauthentic to use that. And I guess in order to find yourself, you shouldn't be afraid to be a copycat. You shouldn't be afraid that other people see you as a copycat, because that's the only way you're going to figure out how what you like to say, what you like to wear, what emojis you like sending, and what you're really feeling in the moment, because that's how it is. And so uh and Maggie was saying that she's been doing therapy for 4 years, and I've just realized that I guess it's a good idea to do therapy for a longer time, because when you do that, you can, especially if you're insecure or you have anxiety and you don't know where it's coming from, and you've tried everything, you've thought of everything, and it doesn't just not working. Like it's a job. It's a job to make your inner child happy, and you gotta do that. Uh, Shit, bro. You know, you feel like this is the expression I make when I like when I'm about to say something funny, but I think it's too cringy or I think it's too weird. This is probably already like doesn't even seem like me to the people at school. And I was talking to Matt and my friends too. Um, and I love all the people gave who who gave a chance for me to be with them and to appreciate them, and for them to do that to me. So I appreciate all you guys. But yeah, this is very unlike me. I guess right now the vibe that I'm feeling, the person that I'm expressing right here on this podcast, right? But Maggie was saying that what was she saying? Yeah, I was telling her actually that like I've become friends with these people at school, and like I guess I've known everyone for 4 years at Parker, and so everyone kind of has an idea of who I am, and I'm scared, and I'm sure a lot of people have this fear that someone's gonna think I'm I'm being unreal, like I was being fake before. Now I've changed. Now like I'm making these weird jokes about these dick jokes that I'm making. I used to be Christian, and I used to be super humble and nice and stuff, which I hope I am. But I also feel like there's this quirky side of me that I sometimes express with my brother, that comes out that you need to like that you need that everyone a lot of people have, and I really respect that in high school. Surprisingly, most people have, and I feel like I'm like an odd one out actually, of just being in the moment. Like someone yells something and you just intuitively yell, "What the fuck is on your mind?" to them, and it's funny. Henry, I know you do that. Anish, uh, Owen. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna beep these people's names out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna beep your name out if you if I'm saying something that's not positive or neutral, I guess, about you. Um, yeah, Kira, Jason, everyone does it, and I guess it's like weird to just name certain people. A lot of people do it, and that's kind of what makes. Those are the moments I was like, wait, I could have said something, or that was so funny, that was hilarious, and I didn't join into the fun. I didn't join into this mosh pit of a conversation type shit. Uh, I've noticed how when I say words that I usually don't say or make sounds that I don't usually make, I have like an imposter syndrome, which is what I was talking about earlier about like being afraid that other people are going to think that I'm being fake for being a different person, trying to be a different person. And I feel like it's really cool, like just feeling myself evolve, like kind of feeling uncomfortable about it, but knowing that this feels good and like I'm getting off of myself, and like I can turn myself on, like self love type shit. Uh, and when I say words, like I used to not cuss, and when I said words like shit or fuck, it'd be like shit or fuck, like I not like that, but just like what I'm saying. I would say it as if I didn't really know the word. And sometimes you got to do it. You got to just say it, and you got to copy what other people do. Like say it in a confident manner, and eventually you'll become part of your style or what you want to say, and I think that's good. Um, Not to say that you should not consider what you're copying, but I think we humans have like a very good sense of what is truth and who's being honest. Like, and it's not just a facade of words or whatever we commonly think it is. It's like we know that this person's being genuine and honest, and I think that that's really hopeful in it, and that's why I honestly think that everyone. I haven't met like psychotic people or like people who've like killed other people for fun. Like I haven't met people like that. I've heard of people like that, but everyone I've met so far, like I genuinely think if you hurt someone else, like you do something bad like that, it's just because you're hurt yourself or you're insecure or you're anxious or if someone's stressing your life or whatever it is. So far in my experience, at least, as a naive 18-year-old, uh, but in the people that I don't get or I kind of dislike, or I'm like why, or like I'm jealous of, it's like it's in probably me just being insecure, and it's usually yeah that's what it is, or I don't understand them fully enough. Um, all that to say that I don't even know where I started. Uh, and fuck. Oh, so this podcast is about why you should talk to girls. You should definitely talk to girls because girls are so cool. And okay, this is like the heterosexual perspective if you're like a teenage guy or like a boy or a man, you know. So, uh, yeah. So I was at UTC today, right? And I was thinking like I should probably talk to a girl. Like I've been thinking about this a lot, and like I've not done it many times because it's hard. But I'm like I should go talk to a girl, like a random girl, and just be like, "Excuse me, uh, I'm learning how to talk to girls, and I'm wondering, would you be willing to talk, or would you be willing to chat?" You have to gauge her body language. Like, does she want to chat? Like, is she open to it? Which is something I learned on the web. But once you do that, and maybe they're not open to it. Um, and so if they're not open to it, then it's not, you're not being creepy for asking because maybe you didn't understand. The next time you'll probably get that, understand it a little better, like their body language. Like, oh, maybe this kind of body language means that a girl doesn't want to talk to you, or they're not feeling like it, or they think you're chopped or something like that. Um, so I was walking around and there's just hundreds of girls. I was trying to find like a girl that was around my age. I didn't want to ask like a middle schooler girl or someone who looked younger, too young compared to me, or else that'd be weird. They might be uncomfortable talking to me, and I wasn't trying to ask like an older woman or like someone who's like late in college because that's. I mean, I could have done that. I was thinking about that, but it's kind of outlandish as well. So there weren't too many girls that I met and or saw, and every time. Okay, here's the thing. Every time I walked up to, I saw these girls approaching. I was walking right. I went to Kira's brunch this morning. I had this nice like what's it called, like shirt, like a dress on shirt, like a button down shirt, and I like had it open and I felt kind of confident, and it had like these leaves on it and it's black and everything, and I was walking and I and this isn't the right order, but I saw like a group of girls, like they looked different. Like one was super tall, one was fat, another one was like medium or whatever you call body sizes, right? And they had different clothes on. And I wanted to just like go talk to the first girl who was walking, the girl who was like walking in the front, and ask her like, "Excuse me, would you?" I'm trying to learn how to talk to girls. Would you be willing to chat? And but then I was afraid because I was like, what if all these other girls think that I'm being weird or that I'm stopping them in the middle of their day to do this? Like I'm being selfish or I'm a weirdo creep. And I thought I was like, nah, bro. If they think I'm being selfish or like I'm a weirdo or a creep, then then they're not the right people. Then fuck them, man. Not like actually fuck them. I mean, like you're not. Then they're probably not the right people for me. They're not like I suppose the people that I want to be around. And and so I and so then I saw this other group of these other two girls among many girls I saw who were uh, Asian, and I didn't think they were too attractive, I was like, no, I'll find a girl that I'm attracted to and then ask them, or like I think is pretty, and then I'll ask them that, and then I'm like, no, but I have to ask, and then I pass them, and I realized like, uh, well, this is what I've realized over the past like 2 months, which is like not 2 months, maybe like a month. I talked to Kyber about this, which is like talking to people who you don't think have like social currency, or maybe you're not attracted to, or you don't put on a pedestal. And I've realized it's a me problem because a lot of the people I do put on a pedestal and who are quote unquote popular, um, Tilly and Amelia, at the party, you guys said, or Tilly said that, like you think you're better than other people. Like I don't think I'm better than other people. Like something like that. And I was like, mentally, no, I don't think I'm better than other people. But like intuitively, yeah, I think I'm better than some people because I have more social currency, or I'm cooler, or like I'm more confident, which all these things are may or may not be true, but those things don't really matter. Like really what matters is like who they are as a person, and everyone has value. No matter if you're chopped or not chopped, that's subjective, I think, but also somewhat objective. Or you're, the, by the way, for people who are listening, uh, the definition of chopped means ugly or unattractive, I think. Uh, so if you're chopped or unchopped, if you like have money, or you don't have money, or you dress well or you don't dress well, like everyone has value, and I guess I realized like I've talked about this with Minby and Jason on another episode. Like I think I have a type. Like I like white girls. Not that I can't like Asian girls, but I tend to not like Asian girls. And I said that I think Asian girls are more shy and less confident, and so I think I find that unattractive. And that's something that's a trait that I think I have that I'm working on. Not to change myself, but I guess to be more open and be more authentic because I don't think I'm necessarily an introvert. Um, but I I said that about Asian girls, right? And I think I've realized like when I think about attractive like women that I want to talk to, it's like all these like pretty people, pretty girls, or like these white girls that I want to talk to, and I haven't talked to any of these Asian girls, or like I don't have an impulse to, but I think I should, and that's what I realized when I walked by those two Asian girls, and also prior to that kind of thinking about like who I want to associate myself with, or who I be around, and who I choose to be friends with, talk to, or what's up, Jonathan? You want to say hi?
Hello. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of it too.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Um,
Bye.
that's my brother Jonathan. He's 9. I hope you don't stalk him on the internet or wherever when he grows up. I hope that wasn't bad. Um, what was I talking about? Yes, I was talking about Asian girls, and I was like, I should have just stopped. And like the point of talking to girls isn't to hook up with them, like maybe my 15-year-old self inwardly and very guiltily thought as a Christian young male, but with a lot of testosterone. I still have a lot of testosterone, guys. Um, but I, it's like I think the point is to find someone to be kind to them and maybe make their day by saying like things that make them feel happy or like expressing something you notice about them, like them feeling seen. And then also like if a relationship comes out of that, it would be because you find something in them and they find something in you that that you guys can bond over, connect over, and build over and create a relationship over. It could be a friendship even. It could start off like this romantic thing, like you're going up to talk to girls. But honestly, I think it can be platonic after that. You can and I think if you have those intentions, um then then it's not bad to talk to girls. In fact, it's a positive thing to talk to girls because it makes you more open and honest and authentic yourself when you eventually go talk to your future wife the day that you meet her, or you're in the process of finding your future wife, right? um and I I don't know if you guys have heard about this as a concept, but I listened to these two podcast episodes about attraction and romance and like dating and stuff. I wanted to listen to it about because I wanted to learn how to how dating is like and like what attraction like. And somehow they got into this topic of talking about sex, right? And they said that uh, this is probably Jillian Turecki and Chris Williamson, or some other dating coach besides Jillian Turecki, and said that like after you have sex in a relationship, then like especially for women, you're chemically bonded to the guy. Like you release all these chemicals, these neurochemicals like oxytocin and dopamine and other stuff probably that makes you feel like even if this guy is an asshole, like you still really just want to be around him, or you want to continue the relationship. You feel like you want them. And once you cross that line of like sex, which I swear every teenage guy is probably thinking about, um, that was based on my own personal experience, but it can't be too different from the mean, right? uh, you're always thinking about like I want to have sex, man. I really just want to have sex, dude. Like please. And girls seem so nonchalant, or like the girls that you're attracted to, like they don't they're like unreachable. Like you can't talk to them, especially if you're like insecure, like you've been insecure like me, and you haven't seen what love looks like in your family, or love looks uh like conversation and talking to people, like being awkward, socially awkward or unsocialized. And I've kind of been all this different tidbits of that, and it fucks with you. It's like, what the hell, man? And after I listened to this podcast, I was really happy. I was like, wait, I think that I don't want to have sex like the first thing that happens in a relationship. Like I think that I think having sex later is actually great. I don't think that's a bad idea. And like once you get to know the person, like what do they like who they are, and you guys spend time together, and you've created something that's not just based on pure lust or whatever you call it, that is foreign in sex, is like sexual bond, the sexual union. Then then you can decide like, hey, I want to create more intimacy with you, then let's have sex. So now I don't feel like as much of a so rushed or creepy about it when I think about dating or talking to girls and shit. um but so I was at UTC, right? And this happened multiple times. Like I saw, like I was gonna talk to them, but then I didn't because there's some reason I didn't. And I realized every time there was like a girl walking, and I thought she was pretty, and she was walking with her mom, and this happened multiple times. So it's not there wasn't just one time. And I was like, I should talk to her, but no. But if I talk to her, her mom's gonna be like, "What the hell are you doing, boy? Like, what you talking to my daughter for?" I was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna do it." And I realized, like, if I'm polite about it, and this is what my therapist told me, and I think this is the best advice ever, not for me at least, uh, is that when you express your wants and you do it politely, then it's fine. Like maybe you trip up, maybe people think you're weird or awkward, but if you're polite, like I mean, you generally do care, like you don't want to like hurt the other person, which in all normally that's the case, right? Yeah, that is always the case. Then uh first of all, if you have bad intentions, then you shouldn't be doing this shit. You should be working on yourself, you know? But if you don't have bad intentions, then talking to that other person, talking to that person or doing that something or asking for something, validating your own needs or expressing your wants is not a bad thing if you do it politely. So I thought like, retrospectively, I thought I was walking past those girls. Like I could have just stopped and said, asked politely, can I please talk to you? And the mom maybe would have stopped. Like it's fine and maybe let me, or maybe be like, oh, we were going somewhere. And for me to get that experience to actually have said it and done it, I would have realized like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like I can do this. I can be open with people and talk to people. And I think that's what really people want to do when they drink alcohol or like have stimulants or things that allow you to be more open with other people or want to talk to people at parties, for example. Largely, a lot of people just open up at parties, I think, and be themselves and be in the moment and don't really think about that. But the benefit of it, and I've been thinking about this, Jason, my college friend, who we did a wonderful episode, and it discussed, like what would alcohol be like. I've been thinking about like trying alcohol for a little bit, just like at a few event. Now the school year's over, so I might be cooked. But trying alcohol and seeing like how I feel and just like being able to go to people, getting the experience of talking to people and opening up and seeing what it feels like and being like, hey, this feels good, and then being able to eventually be like, hey, I don't need this alcohol, and I can just do it without the alcohol. And maybe I don't, because I'm pre-diabetic, I have health problems. Like this alcohol is the worst thing for you. Like maybe I'm not gonna do it. If I do it, then it'd be for that purpose, for that reasons, to get that experience. And be like, dude, this it's no big deal, man. Like you can do this, and uh, people like you if you're polite, um, even if you're chopped. Uh, dude, why do I keep on saying you're chopped? It's hot, man. It's hot in here. Uh, so yeah, I think getting that experience of talking to people, especially talking to girls and guys, is beneficial for us to connect, be able to read body language better, understand cues better, uh, develop your sense of humor, develop your sense of self, develop your connection to other people. As humans or as primates on this planet, I feel like there's this supernatural thing that happens that I don't know if other people feel. Honestly, you should feel this. If you don't, like, if you think about it, you probably do feel this. But me, like, being like isolated from freshman year to kind of junior year, like being unsocial, I would say, I just really crave social connection, and the brief glimmers of me like showing my true self to other people and getting to know people and talk to people. Those were the moments where I was like, "Fuck, man, it's got to be something greater here." It's not like intellectually, I know just how amazing it is that we have conversation, that like we have language and shit. We can communicate our emotions. Like we're not like chimpanzees. Like we just hand a banana to. Like, chimpanzees are smart, but like we have this stuff, right, that makes us different. And when it like the connection, the love, like the oxytocin and dopamine, if you're talking like psychologically, but also just you feel something, you feel like you're part of something greater, and those are the people if you haven't already been told this, that are the happiest, according to the Harvard super long Harvard study. That's like what makes a happy life isn't all the other stuff that we consider important. All those things are important. It's just having genuine social connections and connecting with people. Um, so talking to girls is all part of the effort, and I think it's also part of the mating and evolutionary process of for men. And I think finding a woman who you truly love and that woman who truly loves you is a need that we have as humans. And once you practice your ability to talk to women and girls, you I think you'll be able to open up and have those authentic connections and be able to flirt uh, with women and find that girl that you truly love. Um, and and I think it's great. There's a lot that I haven't talked about. Let me just look at my notes. Uh, okay. So I think I will talk about this because it kickstarted a lot of emotional turmoil and self doubt and anxiety uh, about myself. Like a week ago, was it last week, literally, or maybe 2 weeks ago? But there's this friend I had. Uh, let's call him Albert because I don't think there's anyone in a grade called Albert. Uh, Maybe I should just call him X. I'll call him X. And he was nice to me, kind to me, and I appreciated him as someone who's genuinely very honest about stuff. And we were friends, like kind of friends, freshman year to this year. And I told him about a lot of my problems with social interaction and social anxiety, and he gave me solid advice, as he's given other people. And then a couple months ago, like 2 months ago, I realized he just stopped talking to me. I would say hi to him in the hallway, and he wouldn't look at me, and I was just so confused. And it was like, uh, it was the last day of like the full school day, and I was like doing my stats project and my advisory, and thinking, and I was like, fuck, bro, I'm missing. Like we had this thing called Sochella, which is like a concert in our school where people for social justice, and I was missing that, and I wanted to go to that, but I had to finish the stats project, and I was working on my stats project in the advisory, and I was like, fuck, bro, fuck, man, because like I was kind of like sweating, like I couldn't really focus because I was thinking about this guy, my friend, who uh who I guess the way that I now understood it to now understand it to be is high school beef. Like maybe I'm not a bad person, maybe he's not a bad person, but we have beef because we have assumptions about each other. Shout out Lexi and Katie. That episode we talked about that, and so I was working on my stats project, and I just felt so bad. I'm like, I'm not gonna let this affect me. He's just not saying hi to me. He's like not talking to me. Um, but like I had sent him a text I think that day where I was like, maybe I hadn't sent him this text yet of like, oh, why did you stop saying hi to me? Did I do anything wrong? I apologize. I apologize in advance if I did do anything wrong. Um, and gosh, so I finished my stats project, and the rest of the day I was just feeling anxious, and like, if you know me, I'm I'm pretty fucking socially anxious, and I've recently learned in the past couple weeks in some from listening to podcasts and talking to my therapist and shit that a lot of it is like just me feeling like I don't know how to accept other people's love and give it to other people, and um, largely from family. I think that's a huge factor. If you have a happy marriage, Tucker Carlson gave this wonderful advice. in a podcast, if you have a happy marriage, then you'll have happy kids. Like don't be focusing on like trying to like make your kids super happy if you're like if you hate your wife or you hate your husband. Anyways, so basically I'm insecure, right? And so this incident, the first time I had beef in high school, it was crazy. And it was a coincidence because it was the day that Katie and Lexi were like, let's talk about beef. Like, that's a topic we can talk about. And there's like, I think that was the day when I had, yeah, that's the day when I sent my text. And I was feeling like, immensely anxious. I was like, I can't get this out of me. I can't get this out of me that he doesn't like me for some reason. And he hasn't responded to my text yet. And it was just gnawing at me. And I feel like everyone has some sort of like notion about themselves, which is, other people don't like me. I'm weird. I can't be loved. Like, I, and it'd be like every single moment, like, it'd be like the way that I look, the way that my like eyes look, or my nose look, or my smile, or the way that I move, or the way that I'm hesitant, or what I've done in the past, what I'm gonna do in the future. Like, they all don't like me. They're not gonna like me. Like what I do, and rationally, I know, like, I guess I can be loved, and the friends who still have loved me, even when I've been not myself, or like I, th- I think everyone fundamentally knows who you are, which is another thing that Tucker Carlson mentioned, which is like people know who you are. Like, you don't even be faking, like the tone of your voice, or the way you say words, or like they know who you are. They know what you feel, and like being honest is just an affirmation of that. But the people who have loved me, even when I've been awkward and not like express myself like I guess I am right now, and fucking like crashed out type shit. Just being funny, embracing my sense of humor, bantering, like getting into funny beef with other people, not like beef, like funny beef with other people, like the way Kevin Hart says "fuck you" to in the Tom Brady show, or the way he says fuck you to Dwayne the Rock Johnson. It's just so funny, incredibly funny. But like, I haven't really done that. I haven't done that with my friends, and I've been so scared because I just don't think they will like me, or they think I'm being selfish for trying to like them. And I've since learned that people like will love you back, and you can love them, and it's not selfish because it's reciprocal. And if they don't love you back, then move on. Like, it's okay. There's always gonna be people for you. Um, Not like everyone's just exchangeable, but humans fundamentally need friends, and it's not fake when you make friends with people. I honestly don't think it's fake, and I think part of your fate, part of this whole supernatural thing I'm starting to feel or believe and understand. Dude, what was I talking? I was talking about yeah, I was talking about X. I was talking about how anxious I was feeling, right? So X responds in text with like, when you speak with all my friends, you make them incredibly uncomfortable. Like, fuck you, man. I'm joking. That's not what I mean, man. Like, I wish you the best. Like, I hope the rest of your life, that sounded morbid. I hope your life goes really well, and I hope you do great things and create great relationships and friendships and shit. Um, but what was I saying? But my therapist was like, you just gotta, like, some people just want to push you down. Like, I didn't talk to my therapist until like a couple days later. So my anxiety for those couple days was just like, dude, do my friends think I'm like creepy? Like, what he said is, when you speak with all my friends, you make them incredibly uncomfortable. And I apologized. I said, like, I didn't mean that. Like, I'm incredibly awkward. I'm still figuring out the social interaction. Like, and then eventually you specify. I asked him, like, what do you exactly mean by that? He said, when you talk to girls, like, you don't have a filter. You need to have a filter. It's like a completely different playing field. And now I need to explain this part of the story. I hope it's not super unclear so far. I was at so me and Jason did this episode, right, about masturbation. It's a really great episode. I loved it. And I learned a lot. I learned specifically like masturbation. with imagination, it's actually possible and you can do it. So that was the main takeaway. But there's other things, right? So and then it spread through the grade. Other people heard it, and Jason told me like, "Oh, this person heard it. This girl heard it. That girl heard it." And I was like, "Oh shoot, okay, okay." So there's this one girl who heard it, and we were at a party, and I was sitting next to her, and I turned over and I said, "Like, I heard you listen to the Jason episode," and she's like, "Yeah, that was really, I don't know if she said vulnerable or like risky or something about like how it wasn't a negative comment." And then I said like, "What are your thoughts on masturbation?" Like I said it like that. I'm like awkward type shit. And I have like my voice changed and I get like scared of what other people are gonna think of me. But I was just trying to like connect with them, right? Connect with them. Uh, and so um, she's like her eyes went wide open. I thought everything was fine. Like I thought it was chill and shit. She turned to me. It's like, "Are you talking about girls or boys?" And I said, "Just in general, you know." And I don't even remember what she said next. She's like, "I don't know, probably." And then she just got up and left with her friend. Her friend was like laughing, like like creepy laugh, okay, creepy laughing, like oh, like nervous, awkward, funny laughing. Uh, I was like, okay, and I forgot about the incident. And then basically post prom, this girl hosted the party. Uh, Jonathan, wait, yeah, okay. Um, I was gonna watch Avatar with my brother. I haven't ate dinner yet. It's 8:07 p.m. And I want to watch Avatar with my brother for 20 minutes, but he's gonna. I think I'll have time. So, anyways, where was I at? So this girl hosted the post prom party, and she said that, and she told my friend Jason to tell me that I wasn't invited to the party. And Jason told me this as we were walking after lunch to class. Uh, I love Jason and super real. But so he told me that, and I was like, "Oh shit, man! Like this is bad." And I also talked to Kira the night before, and she told me like that. That wasn't really appropriate. Like you shouldn't like you should have like a filter with girls about stuff like that kind of thing. And I realized like, okay, I definitely should not have said that, and I'm mildly embarrassed. Now I realize, yeah, that if I was a girl and someone asked me that, that would be, "What are your thoughts on masturbation?" That would be kind of creepy. And I'm not like the super open type of guy. Um, I try to be open. I try to be honest. Like talk about stuff that am truly curious about. But it comes across as creepy because I don't have a filter, or I have a filter, and so like stuff that comes out is like I like try to select and curate and basically curate their external perspective of me, which now I realize is just like being out of the moment, not being present, and not being yourself in ways. So, but anyway, so my friend X, he texts me. He's like, uh, yeah, he texts me like you make all my friends incredibly uncomfortable. And then this text was like, "You don't have a filter with girls." And so I think he was referencing that because I think he's friends with that girl that I mentioned. I asked that question to at the party, but I was scared because I wasn't like, I knew, I was trying to talk to girls. I wasn't really doing anything. Like, I just wanted to talk. I wasn't like doing anything, I wasn't trying to like pull, uh, which is slang for like trying to get a girl. I was just trying to talk to girls. Um, and God, I need to explain something else now. So there's this other girl that I really like. Uh, I think romantically, like lustfully, maybe, who was in my, should I say the specific class? I'm just gonna say class, and she was at my table for the whole year, and I began to like her, right, as you do, and I was just I've told a lot of my friends about this, about I guess about this girl too, but I was petrified to talk to her, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I was like anxious, like sitting at the table, like trying to like focus on taking notes when the teacher was doing the notes, and I couldn't because this girl was there. Like, even if it's like popular guys that I like or like want to be friends with or interact with, like I don't. It's not that bad. I didn't experience it that bad as it was with this girl, especially because I had this pressure now. As I've transitioned to understanding that talking to girls isn't necessarily a bad thing over the past year, and it's actually a thing you should practice and get better at and experience. I was feeling the pressure to do that, and I would be like, and me the past year through the process of talking with other people on this podcast, I've realized that like, uh, yeah, it's hard to talk to girls, but I want to talk to them. Dude, I just lost my train of thought. And uh and no, oh, dude, yes. And I kind of my curiosity started off being intellectual because I think that's where I saw other people do it, and I was like, okay, this is cool. This is academic. And I would ask these deep questions, other people, my friends, everyone, like philosophical questions, and I do ponder them a lot because the past 2 years I was transitioning away from Christianity to being more agnostic now, and so I would ask this girl, like I would plan, I'd be like, I gotta ask her this question, um, like just like a few days out of this year, like I would ask her like what do you think love is, or like how are you so comfortable in your own skin? Because she's fucking. It's kind of warm in here. Should I open the window? I'm gonna open the window. If it's too loud, I might close it. She's fucking, fucking. I'm practicing saying my F word now. She's fucking comfortable in her own skin, and I really liked her for that. And she's also pretty. She's also smart. So I'm trying to ask her these questions. She would give me like an answer, and then we'd stop talking. I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense, nodding and like hoping that she didn't think I was creepier. And then she would go back to talking to her two friends, table mates, like just about other stuff that I wanted to jump in and talk about, like because that's what you do. Like as a human, you interact with people about stuff that you like, and I like this stuff, but I didn't interact. Okay. And if you're listening, uh, both these table mates, I I appreciate you guys a lot. You guys are real cool. That was an awesome table to be in. I learned a lot, even though I didn't say shit. Um. Anyways, so yes, this girl in my class, I really liked her, and it came to the point where in April, like I was watching these videos about like how to talk to girls, like how to be attractive, and it's like, okay, I learned like you just gotta you go for it, you gotta go take the risk. And what my therapist has now since told me is that the boys who are successful, like who do get a date or do find a girl that they like, or do get a girl at all, is because they had some kind of positive experience, like maybe the first time, like earlier in their high school experience. And I think probably too because they're naturally attractive or social, and that kind of helps, I think. But experience is essential, and like positive experience, like you do it once and it was positive for you, like, hey, I can do this, like I can do shit. Other people, and most boys are petrified to talk to girls, so they get that positive reinforcement and they're more confident and they go forward doing that. And so, but there's very few, not very few. There's like not, it's not a majority, I would say, in the grade to do that. But I wanted to be that type of guy, and I was like, I just gotta plunge through this. And so I went ahead and like I kind of gave like some cues, Like I sent an email to her. I was uh, like I've been really scared to talk to you, but I'm gonna commit now. Like I asked her with this question. I want to ask her about like how do you connect with like our table mates so much, and she she didn't respond to it. I was like scared, and the next day I asked her, "Did you see my email?" And she's like, "No, I didn't." And I was like, and then I just asked the question, and of course it was like a response where I didn't say anything back, or I wasn't like being in the moment at all, which is terribly unattractive and is terribly. If you're not in the moment, you're probably anxious. And that's what I was. I was in my head, so that's kind of creepy. Maybe I don't regret it. Then I sent it. I then asked her friend for. I asked her if she wanted to be on the podcast, right? And she said she'd consider it. Asked her a couple times, and then she's like, I eventually got the message she didn't want to be on the podcast. She said it's like not my type of thing. Um, Gosh, that's so attractive. Like being able to say no, like setting boundaries, and having like a sense of, what you want, who you are, like what's good for you, and being able to express it to other people. Um, I think I'm gonna write a thank you card to that person and to the other table mates as well. Um, and a lot of other people that I've really appreciated and learned from throughout this year and from our school, from Francis Parker. Um, so I got her number from her friend, and I sent her these texts, which was like, "Can I call you to ask you about something?" I wanted to be like, "Do you want to go on a hike?" Like, dude, it's so complex because I realized I was pre-diabetic like late April, and I have severe inflammation in my gut, and that's why I get bloated. I get gassy from eating normal foods, and I take like so many different supplements, and my sleep is fucked up. Oftentimes, I go to bed, and it's like, dude, I can't fall asleep for 2 to 3 hours, and I know I'm that type of person who like I can go to bed early, but I'm not falling asleep, and other people are sleeping at 12 at 1 and they have more energy than me during the day, and so I'm like juggling these health problems, right? I've been juggling these health problems for like 2 years, and now I've kind of figured out what it is. And I'm like, I need to lock in here before I go to Berkeley next year, because Berkeley, I gotta have the self control to not binge food. If you listen to the Kyber episode or any other episode where I talked about binging food, like I can eat up food, as Maggie would say about people seeing her, like when Cody's reference a joke she said, like I can eat that shit up, man. Okay, so what was I saying? Food, yeah. So my therapist said that I have an eating disorder, and I'm cooked. I'm cooked, man. We were at Berkeley for Cal Day, and I had the cafeteria, and my mom was like, we were at the cafeteria, and my mom was like, you should stop eating the like no more like sweets, no more like they had these like vegan chocolate chip cookies and these like donut puffs, and I like went to get some more food, to get some like a chicken breast or something, and like I I used my hand and like stuffed like two donut puffs in my mouth. I was with they're filled with chocolate too, and as I was walking back to the table, I was like, mom saw me and she was like, "What are you eating?" Good thing she didn't press on my case more because I just swallowed that shit. I didn't swallow. I swallowed it because I chew my food a lot. And yeah, so definitely hooked onto that sugar. Um, but I'm working on it. Dude, where am I at, yo? Where am I at? Oh yeah, so I was talking to this girl, right? I was texting her, and I said, can we call? And she didn't respond. Uh, and I was like, that was my achievement for the day. Cry emoji. Like I was so nervous to send that. I just sent it. It's like, okay, whatever. And she didn't respond. And I said not to barge, but I'm gonna call you and see what happens. She didn't respond, and then I sent like that text, which was like, that was my achievement for the day. Cry emoji. Next day, I asked her, "Did you see my call?" She's like, I saw your calls. Or she said she saw it really quickly in the morning, and I was like, "Can I talk to you really quickly after class?" She said, "Sure." Well, she said, like, do you want to ask me now? And I was like, it's better if I do it private. It's kind of awkward because I was sitting next to another table mate. Um, so I asked her, dude, her friend was out there too, and it's all complicated because, yeah, okay, I won't explain that part, but okay, her friend was out there too. We were walking. She probably doesn't even remember this because she's so cool. Um, but it's probably like a blip in her memory. Unless you watch this, unless I'm gonna call you Y. Unless Y you watch this solo podcast up to this point, then you will be forgotten in the books of history of our of my thoughts about you. Um, okay, chill, man, chill. Okay, so and then I wanted to tell her like I really like you. I want to be friends with you. Would you like to do something? I also like you romantically. So that's the first part. So the first part is like I want to be friends with you. The second part is if you romantically attracted me, then I'm romantically attracted to you. Maybe we could date or something. Um, and and I was gonna tell her like the reason why I don't know if I'm ready for dating is because I have all these health problems that I'm managing and I'm dealing with. And I was trying to like, dude, I had planned. I was thinking about it for like kind of the whole night, like in and out of my fever dream of a sleep the previous night. And she's like, I'm not comfortable like like calling it on my phone. Like, can we keep it in the classroom? There's like 2 more weeks of school left, or 1 more week, and then so and then, gosh, and then so we returned to school. I was petrified to ask her those questions because I wanted to ask her about like how do you have self worth? How do you like have self-respect? Because some people radiate that, some people have that, and I think a lot of it's from childhood, but also some people have that. And I wanted to learn about that. Like genuinely I was curious, but also I was attracted to her, and maybe I even had some limerence about her. But so I was way too scared to ask those questions because the two table mates are there too, and also she didn't look very comfortable when I was talking to her walking out of class after class that time. And so then I just told her like, I really like and admire you. I was being dishonest about the fact that, you know, whatever I said earlier about wanting, I said I was curious about that, but if you don't want to talk about it, that's for sure. So that, dude, that was that. I'm proud of my pat on the back for doing that, like doing that whole thing. Like, dude, that was such a struggle. And I probably made like 2 inches of, like 2 feet of progress in like a mile course. But I'm proud I did that. And yo, this is what I'm saying. So like that's why I was so creeped out because I was genuinely feeling like creepy. I was feeling like maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe like this girl actually doesn't like me. Yeah, she doesn't like me romantically, but maybe she thinks I'm a creep. And I've heard people talk about some people in our grade who are like weirdos or creeps, and it's like I don't want to be that type of person, and I don't want my friends to know about this because if they know this about me, they're gonna think I'm a weirdo. Um, I have talked to some of my friends about it. I haven't gave them the full rundown like I am right now, but hopefully, you hear this. Uh, uh-huh. So where am I going, man? Okay, so X, right? So when X told me that all my friends are incredibly uncomfortable when they speak with you, I was like, "Holy fuck, dude! I'm cooked to the cookest of the cook to the cooked of the cookest of the cooks, man." Cause, cause I thought I was creepy myself, or I felt like I was making her very uncomfortable. So, and probably that girl who I asked at the party too, and maybe other girls too, because I also asked her friend, like, I'm trying to learn how to talk to girls. And so, and I asked her separate questions. It's a whole nother story. And, but I don't regret any of that because now reflecting, like, probably not creepy at all. I'm just talking to people and, uh, and I don't think I did anything wrong. And I was just trying to break out of my shell. Okay, buddy. My therapist said is you can be witty with how you beef with other people who are trying to be better on you because they're below you. Is you can say that like fuck you, dude. But like if you want to say that in a high-handed way, you can say that like not as uncomfortable as when I blow my load on your mom's face. She feels fine after that. She doesn't feel uncomfortable. Like that's so outlandish that obviously it's not true, but it's kind of hilarious. And you do it to protect yourself, defend yourself to like have some self-respect, I suppose. And it's not being mean, it's not wishing them bad. It's just like they don't want to be friends with you. They don't want to sit down with you and ask you like why you did the things, or really understand you. Then they probably don't really value your relationship with them that much, and they don't really care about you that much. So, they probably care more about other people, which is great and good for them, but not me. So, X, uh, X expressed that to me implicitly through those texts. But I was feeling so insecure, and now I've asked some of like all my friends, like people he is friends with, like, and my friends, if they think that way, like I told them about it, and I realized like they don't think that way. I don't know. It's probably those two girls that I gave us a story about who maybe think that way, and fine. It's fine if they do think that way about me. So all of that to say is that you shouldn't be afraid of being creepy. You should be aware of it. You shouldn't be creepy, but you should get out there and be yourself and make mistakes and flop, uh, and flop and flop and flop. Ooh, that's why I wanted to mention Maggie because I love this thing that you said, Maggie, which is, or yeah, and Lauren, you said this too, which is like the point of life is like you just do stuff, you take risks, and you flop, and you flop, and you flop, and I've been so scared to do that. Like, confidence uh isn't not being scared. It's being scared and doing shit in spite of it, and being able to take failure and do fail as many times as you can, and um, it's a wonderful thing. So that was a whirlwind, I suppose, of stuff, and I feel like just genuinely grateful that it happened because now I feel like now that someone actually has beef with me, now that someone doesn't like me, I can like be more free. Not that I couldn't before, but now I feel like I can be more free to be myself, to express my humor, be funny, like mess up for other people to dislike me because the people who truly like you or care about you and want to invest in you, and those are the people that you should invest in too and create relationships with, are the people who see something in you that like maybe you don't even understand. That's why I think it's low-key supernatural. Uh, like some greater presence is making all this wonderful friendships and relations and people in life happen. Um, but those people are gonna want to understand you and want to spend time with you. And even if you dislike yourself, you haven't begun to like yourself yet, or you don't really have that self love, like you should do things that make you to feed your soul, that make you happy, like not get into the argument with your mom when she says something, or being patient and listening to her when she needs to, even though you don't feel like it. Those are the things that create that self love and create that self respect. That's inner healing. Um, Dude, I'm getting on a separate track. Go listen to Jillian Turecki, and go read. I haven't read her book yet, but I think her book is really great. It's called "It Begins with You," which is about dating and like insecurity and how to become a secure woman, but also applies to anyone. How to become a secure friend, person, you know. That's inner healing and doing those things to build up yourself. And people generally see something. I feel like I see something in people, and it's not like in the friends that the few friends I have that I really care about. Like, and I guess it's not just what they do. It's not just the achievements they have, the skills they have. Um, yeah, I don't think it's all those things. I think it's something else. And people, like Tucker Carlson was saying, people see you for like who you are, and people can see that. Like, and you being honest is just, I think, like an affirmation of that, and like an expression of your courage to take the risk to be yourself, to practice being yourself, to practice being a copycat of other people's styles so you can find your own style. And such that uh like, don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to talk to girls. Don't be afraid to come off as creepy. Don't be creepy. Don't be creepy, but do shit that makes you feel like you're going out of your comfort zone, like into the unfamiliar. And that is the stuff that makes you grow. That's the stuff that makes you understand things. So I'm still I'm still pretty challenged with talking to girls, but I'm gonna try talking to more girls over the summer. Just like just places, asking them. Maybe if that's helpful. If that's helpful, I'll continue doing that. Um, but in so many other areas, taking risks with my friends and opening up to them. Gosh, man, high school passed by so quickly. Like, I wish, I genuinely wish that had started my podcast earlier. I released this episode earlier, or came to these understandings and had like more time to spend with these people that I really like. There's people that I really, okay, I'm just gonna start naming people that I really like, and because those people, like, I thought I wasn't worthy of being friends with them. I thought, and all these stuff related to self worth mostly, but also misconceptions about worth, what worth means. Like, it's not popularity, it's not social currency, it's something else. And an openness to others. I seriously, high school for most people, I think a lot of people who have like this group of boys that like I kind of like joined. I hopped. Jason, shout out to you that I hopped on that friend group that I was kind of friends with in freshman year. I was friends in that friend group in freshman year, but it wasn't like truly being myself. That like you guys love each other. Like we were we were at someone's house uh and you guys were like, not everyone was there, but some people, like, you guys were like smashing cakes into each other's faces and like laughing and crying together, and crying because you're like you're fucking gonna leave your friends because all these 4 years that you become so good friends with them that that you really gonna miss them. That's where you started crying. That's fucking amazing. And I think like being able to just be yourself and let loose and be spontaneous and work on yourself. Like, if you don't really know how to do it, um, you should definitely go find a therapist. And not your first therapist might not be the person who like truly understands you or like you connect with, but find it, and then go find another therapist. My first therapist, she was really kind and stuff, but I didn't connect with her as much. My second therapist, he's great. He says the F word all the time. I'm learning his comedy, his sense of humor too, and he has a lot of wisdom and ability to listen and understand me. So if you're working on that and you want some inner healing and you don't feel like your family is there for you, ask your parents if you could do therapy. And if not, go out and take risks and find those people and be friends with them and believe in yourself, because it's gonna be uncomfortable to be like, hey, maybe I do have some worth, or maybe I do am this quirky weirdo that wears this or laughs like that or responds in that way, or tells that story when I want to. And find a mentor, find other people older than you and learn from them, and I guess copy them. And your friends, I guess it really like patches your soul together. And that group of boys I was talking about, like, I don't know if everyone Some people have called them not real men. Not all of them, some of them. But I think if like we're all figuring like I love Kyber for saying this. Uh, I love you, Kyber. Uh, he said that we're all trying to figure things out. Everyone's trying their best, and we're in different places. And said something of that sort, of that message. And people we dislike or don't like, they're all figuring it out. And if someone doesn't like me, like it's okay because I'm here with myself, and there's only one person in the world that you were given, you're gifted with taking care of, and that's yourself. Go check out Matthew Hussey. He's such a great dating coach. But he said that, and we're all trying our best, and to see that beauty in humans, to see that beauty in our peers and others and each other, that we're all trying our best is just so lovely. Like you think that everyone else is a good person, and they are trying their best, and I think that the reason why you don't like them is probably because you don't understand them. Um, Maybe that's not the case for every single person, but I think for most people. And what Kyber said about that, like with that group of boys, like maybe other people think they're not real men, but they're figuring things out. And I genuinely like the fact that they all care about each other. And Jason was saying this too, like every single one of them, they're good people, and he loves the frick out of every single one of them, and they've been vulnerable enough to take risks with each other. Maybe it's not the type of risk that is defined as moral. No, okay, I think that's moral. I think it's all moral. But it's just like, yeah, that shit's amazing. Um, if anyone from school is listening to this, I I don't know. It might be weird because I kind of like cracked my nut sack open. Uh, but oh, I wanted to say people I really like, and if I don't mention you, I'm sorry. I probably have appreciated you or like you in some way. Um, but Luca, I love you. Callum, Zach, uh, dude, I can't say last names right. So, um, Olivia, Luisa, also all my teachers. All my teachers. Hasn't been a single one who hasn't been a good person. And yeah, who else? Uh, dude, I'm gonna be going through like every single person's name. Okay, if you see this and you like don't want your name on this, wait, can we sleep at? Are you sleeping at 9:30? 9? Dude, but tomorrow you don't have school. You do have school. What do you have?
Math science, crazy science.
Oh, shizzle, bro. All right, I'm almost done. Give me like 2 minutes. I'll be done.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, ready.
Yeah. Saying thank you for shaking my hand every single time, like literally for 4 years. Um, Ash, biology class, and uh, Joe. Oh, but I can't be saying last names. I'll bleep that out. Uh, that was a wonderful table. Austin, you seem really cool. And like that whole popular like I have self respect like friend group of like girls. Uh, Tilly, uh, Darby, Amelia. Yeah, y'all are cool. Uh, although although Amelia at that party you were being a little rambunctious to me. Not I don't want to say like that you were doing anything bad, but yeah. Um, like all my friends, like if you're my friend, because you know you're my friend. Um, and dude, I wonder if having long pauses is fine. I'm so full after to like I thought I was gonna be able to eat dinner, but but I'm looking not even hungry right now. It's 8:40 and I had brunch today and I'm not hungry. I might eat some stuff and I need to watch Avatar. Jonathan needs to sleep at 9. Okay. Who else? Logan, Sam, Winston, uh Yvonne, Mandy. You know, I feel like I just list like literally everyone in our grade. Like maybe not everyone, but like a lot of people in our grade. So I'm just gonna pause there. I'm gonna stop there. And you know, it's sad. Congratulations, class of 2025. Y'all, everyone who graduated. Um, it's crazy. High school went by so quick. And what the can I name teachers? Like what the principal was saying, like at commencement about like what I really remember is mm, like about like it's our friendships, like making, like opening up to my friends and them still accepting me and my flaws and like laughing, making you laugh harder than you ever could have imagined you could have laughed, or like going on those trips together, spending time, being in the moment together, like all those memories. Like I wish I created more of those memories in high school, and I'm definitely gonna want to create more of those memories in high school with with people I love and developing, and cultivating relationships with people um, in college, um, and making those memories such that like I'll be able to cry at the end of those 4 years and be like, "Fuck, dude, shit was so great." Yeah, man. Coming down in 2 minutes. All right, and so hopefully I didn't say anything that was too sus on this. Hopefully you know, I want to make one last shout out because I was thinking about this. I wanted to do the handstand back here. Uh, so you could see my pants because I got these pants that look really cool. Shit, dude. That look really cool. And I want to shout out the person who, gosh, he's so sexy. Um, and his sister. I mean, like, not like in attract, like in the genetic sense. Like, and he's a good person, I guess. Um, I guess. No, he is a good person. But I saw him walking around school with these pants. Let me see if I can do a handstand. Did you guys see that? Hold on, let me take my camera just in case you guys didn't see my pants. Pants. These pants. They're they looking kind of good or no? Yeah. So, fuck, dude, I'm actually like kind of exhausted now. It's been like a while. Uh, yeah. So those pants, JP. I'm just gonna say your initials. Uh, I saw you wearing those. They're fire. I appreciate the style. Um, and I'm copying you. I'm copying you. Even though you're a sophomore, you're still cool, man. Um, okay, I had a great time at Disneyland. I mm, I mean, I think I've realized um I love people. People are awesome, and everyone's just trying to figure out who they are. Uh, if this sounded like call her daddy type shit, if you guys have listened to Alex Cooper or like her episodes, I've tried listening to her a couple weeks, like a week ago. Like she says some devious ass shit. Like she like says stuff like, "Why do people fuck?" No, I was gonna say like, "Why do people fuck?" But that's for a different episode. That's for an episode I want to call Chopped. But yeah, please don't get me kicked out of college if any college people see this. Please, Berkeley, don't see this. Um, and hopefully, no, this doesn't fuck up my interviews, fuck up my jobs in the future. Uh, yeah, I'm done. I'm out. See you guys. I appreciate for tuning in for this on if you're here, and I've enjoyed this. I've thoroughly enjoyed this, and I look forward. I want to do more in the future. Um, yeah, love you. And if you don't already know this, I heard this from Mel Robbins. In her podcast, she says this: "You are loved, and you will be loved, and you can be loved, and you are loved." I love you, and I hope you go to bed on time and get some good sleep. All right, peace. So.